Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I've been having a play with some crochet, and I don't know whether you've seen all those videos lately of granny square Christmas trees, and I've been watching it and just thinking, oh, I'm gonna make one of these. So I've just crocheted up a granny square, and then you put it together like this. And when I finished the actual granny square, when I finished it off up here in the corner, I did 20 chain, and that's my hanging loop. Okay, and I didn't cut off, I cut off, but I left a good length, so to sew it up. And apparently you sew it up like this. And then once you get down to the bottom, you flatten your Christmas tree out, or your granny square, and you bring the point here at this point down here, you bring that up, and then you sew along both those sides. And then what you do is you pull on that little granny square in the middle there, and that becomes your little you know, the bottom of the granny square, the bottom of the Christmas tree. And then you end up with a little Christmas tree ornament. Now I really love this idea. I mean, you can do it, I did it quite large, you can do it a lot smaller and with different size hooks and all that sort of stuff. But today's video is not for the purpose of showing you this. This was the I wanted to show you this because it gave me an idea. And I thought, oh, you could do that with another type of square. Okay, so I'm going to hang that up. That's going to be a Christmas decoration. You could decorate it too. You could put other little decorations on it, a star, whatever you want to do. I might just leave it like that. But this gave me an idea. And yeah, can you see where I'm going already? I thought we have some really pretty squares. I'll show you some more that are doilies. I'm going to cut one off here. And that would make a really pretty little Christmas decoration. So that was just a placemat that had a square. I found that square on its own. And then there's also this sort of square as well. And I'm not sure how that will go, but let's have a go. You mean you can only some of them I think you may have to glue, others you could actually sew, so that could be a bit of an experiment, and see how these turn out. Okay, I just gotta let my dog in. You want to come in again? You just went out. Come on, get in. Okay, so I've got 3 squares here, or shapes that are a square. I've got a bit of thread here, and let's give this a go and see if it works. I'm very interested to see if this can work. So I've just threaded up some of that crochet thread, like what they make these out of. I thought, well, I'll sew it up with that because it will look the same or similar. Okay, so let's put this the same way, and we'll fold that down here, and we'll sew down here. Right, and then we flatten that out. And then we bring this up and we sew along the bottom. Okay, and then we push it out like this and flatten it down. And if your square is fraying on the edge, go right ahead and glue it. It'll still work out the same if you glue it. Okay, you could give that a press with an iron too, just to keep it nice and flat, because we're actually not going to see the back of it, this back of it. It will be just the front. Okay, pull that down, just give it the right shape. Okay, and then I've got a little hanger that we can insert in here. I might need a crochet hook to get that in. Come on. Okay, and then you can go ahead and you can decorate it too. So what I was thinking of was putting some little I've got these gorgeous little vintage sequins which are just beautiful. They've got the aged color on them and I just love them. I've also got some little glitter sequins. They would look really pretty on here too. Then you could add beads. I've got some different colored vintage pearl beads in here which would look really pretty. So let's have a little look in there. There's all different colors in there, and these are all ones that I've found at the Opshops, so we could get some of them out. I love the little red ones in there. All we need to do is thread up a bead needle, and then you can just go to town with the decorations. I've anchored this off at the back, and I might put a couple of different sequins on there and just see what they look like. Like that. I want to find some little tiny, and there are some little tiny pearls in there. So we're just going to miss the little pearl and go back down through the sequins and add some little decorations to this. If I can get it untangled. I probably should have put that hanger on last. Okay, like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and put a few of these down. Okay, that's my decoration on this one. I'm just keeping it really simple, and I've skipped up to the top, and I might put something on for a star up the top. It's quite bright. That might look alright. Right, these were just some little like little snowflake type little beads that I got from Temu, and I'll see if that looks fine. Now this one's got a hole down the center and a hole in the middle, so interesting. But isn't that cute? That is the cutest little Christmas tree, and it's all made from a square doily. Okay, I love this one. Let's do this one. Now this was just, I think it was just a doily of its own when I found it at the Opshop, and we'll make this into one as well. They just come up beautiful. So we're just going to fold that down there. I don't think I put a knot in this yet. And let's get the top happening. I don't want to see that knot too if I can't help it. But like I said, you know, you could totally just glue gun this if that's what you choose to do. I'll just put that on there. So I'm just going to sew down that one angle, just catching the little ends of the crochet, and when I come to a dip like this in it, I'll just bring it down a little bit. When I come to a dip in that, I'm just going to skip from there to there and try and keep it all in a bit of a straight line. So you'll skip from there over to this little point, and then but just keep your thread straight. And if your motif, because when you cut it you're going to end up with some raw edges, if they are fraying, I would put some glue on it or stop fray or whatever, let that dry and then sew it. But if that doesn't bother you, then just go ahead and sew it up. Now there's a dip there, so I'm going to skip right over to this one and just leave that so the thread has a nice like straight line like that. I'm going to go right down to the bottom and then open it up and flatten it this way. Okay, and you can give it just a little pull so it'll flatten, and you can also give it an iron. I'll do that to these ones, but it's going to be a bit hard now. I've sewn some sequins on there, but they should be okay. Right, this one I'm going to fold up that middle point and bring it up to here, and then bring those edges together. And sew along them. And they're quick little crafts, they don't take long to do at all. And like I said, if you love that vintage look, you're going to love these. And this has been my whole intention all along, to start using things that I've found at the Opshop to make things, to make beautiful things again, bring it back to life. Okay, we've got to that corner, and then I'm just going to skip back through the doily. Sort of like just through the middle of the doily, back to the middle, and pull that side back out. You might see some of the strings on this one, I'm not sure. We'll have a look as we go. And then put these sides together. Okay, and sew that side up. And because we've got a dip there, I'm just going to skip over to that and just leave that thread so that it doesn't pull massively. And then sew that end closed, and then just pop my needle back in so you don't see the end. Okay, and then we're just going to flatten this tree out. And it's going to look different to the last one because the crochet is different, and you can use those spots in the crochet to pull it down, give yourself a little trunk. Alright, so you've got your gorgeous little Christmas tree, and look at the pattern in this. They're just stunning, absolutely stunning. So we're going to put some decoration on that too. Okay, we'll put our hanger on, which I'm just going to go through the spaces in the crochet and bring that back through, and that's really easy to do. And that is the hanger at the top. Okay, for this tree I found a little folk shaped star, and I think we'll put that in, and I might put a few beads or one bead in between it. So let's put a little bead, a seed bead, a gold bead, and another seed bead, and see what that looks like. And just pop it back through. And that looks pretty cute. Right, let's get some little sequins out. I love these little flower sequins. They're just so pretty. And I'm just wondering if it needs a sequin behind it, just to give it that little colour lift. What about these ones? Yeah, that could work. So we'll put this one on, and let's make this one a little yellow themed tree, and I'll put some small beads on. These little yellow ones, and they're tiny. and I want it to have that charm, you know, so I'm just trying to keep things small or a bit daintier looking, just to keep that sort of charm happening. And look at this one, isn't it gorgeous? They are just gorgeous. So that's another one done. Okay, let's try this one. Now we've got those two done. And let's try this one. Now this one has been cut on 3 sides. And I guess you would just have to be a little bit more mindful how you sew that one. Either that or you glue it. So let's have a look. Doesn't that look cute? And you could just sew, I might glue this one and show you how you can glue it. Okay, I've just got a little silicone mat here, and I'm going to take my cut edge and fold that together. Okay, and I'm just going to lay that on the silicone mat, and then I've got a hot glue gun here fired up, and I'm going to put the spots of glue down that cut edge so it joins all that together. Okay, just give it a second to harden up before you touch it. Okay, that's fused that together, which hopefully will work. Let's pull this out now and flatten that down. I want to get that the same. Okay, and then I'm going to glue these pieces here. Now this particular pattern is called a pineapple, and in the crochet world, crochet pineapple. Oops, stay there. Get all the glue spider webs. Okay, let's have a look at the front and see how that's looking. Now that's looking really good. I sort of like this big long piece here, but I think we'll just fold that up. Yeah, I think we'll just fold that up and put a little spot of the hot glue just on this section here and fold it up. Right, and you can take off all your little spider webs. And isn't that gorgeous? That's giving me a really different shaped Christmas tree. Right, so you could, this bottom part here, you could just put a little bit of the hot glue under there just to keep that in a nice shape. Right, let's turn that glue off. I've just got my glue on a spoon rest. I like to use a silicone spoon rest and sit it on there. It just makes it all really easy and a whole lot less messy. And if glue gets on something, it comes off the silicone really easily. Right, so that's our third tree. So just clean up anything that's not sitting where it should, like little bits of glue. And I'll put a hanger on this one too. So we're just going to catch the crochet somewhere and bring our, bring our thread through there and then just through the loop. And that makes a really, really easy hanger. Like that. Now I might just clip off these little stray bits that are just sitting there like that. Isn't that gorgeous? Just that on its own is a beautiful, beautiful decoration. Right, now this decoration, I wanted to put some of these long beads, and I might do the white. I just really love the white, and we might, these are rice beads, and I might put some, I'm sort of keeping them all in the yellow themes, aren't I? I might put some little ends on the rice beads as well. So I've got my thread threaded up, I've got, I've waxed it just so it goes through things easily for me, and we'll just fasten that off at the back. I'm just going to tidy up that tail. And then we'll go into the front. And when you're using a bead needle, they are very thin and very, very sharp, and they'll go through almost anything. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm sort of keeping in this yellow theme, I guess, or even the creams. These beautiful. This is a cream set that I bought off Temu, I think, and they're just gorgeous. So I'm going to put one of each, like a cream bead, a long rice bead, and another cream bead. And let's get you now. Also, if you if your doily seems very floppy, you could starch it. That could give you a lot of stability as well. Some doilies already come very starched because the previous owners, that's how they took care of them. And this one here, this first one I did, this was quite thick like that. Not thick, but it was quite stiff. Whereas these ones that are more lacy are quite floppy. So you could use a little bit of starch on there beforehand to prep your little squares. That could help a lot. But I'm just, I haven't done that. I'm just going ahead and having too much fun. Okay, to finish this one, I found a little acrylic starfish, and I think that will look nice on here. I'm just going to glue it down because it didn't have a hole. So, and I've still got my thread there because I might still put a couple of little flashes of beads under that. Okay, so they're my 3 finished Christmas trees, and I've just used, like, even if you need to fix some little puckers or something, just put a little bit of the hot glue on, and you can just manipulate that to go where you need it to go. So don't be scared to use the hot glue on that as well. And just pull it out and give yourself that little niche at the bottom. That makes it look really good. Alright, so this was the original inspiration. This has been around on the internet, this granny square Christmas tree. I have seen it smaller than this. Mine was quite larger, and when I seen it, I just thought, oh, I've got crochet squares. I could make them into little Christmas trees. So I just love the inspiration here, from this to this. And this isn't my original idea. Somebody else came up with this idea on the internet. I'll give them credit. It's been around a little bit now, so I'm not sure who the original designer was, but it wasn't my idea. But then to convert these was just a bit of a brainstorm in bed one night. And you know, if you wanted to, if you didn't want to put the beads on, you could put some little pieces of doily on there. You could sew that on, and maybe just sew 2024 or whatever, or you know, just use it however you need to use it. I think these would look awesome on a junk journal, a Christmas junk journal, as well as just as an ornament. And like I said, if you need to stiffen it, do that before you put it all together. What other advice? Just go to town on it. Just make it your own. I've put a little snowflake bead there, a little flat back, I think that was a starfish, and this was a little button. And I might even just put a little bit, because it just stayed floppy, I don't know why. Just put a spot of hot glue under that as well, just to give it, oops, that stability. And yeah, don't be scared to do that either. Alright, and I just love how these have turned out. So the previous doily for this one is that, okay, that was the doily that we used for this one. This one was a piece of this doily, and you can see how that has come up. Beautiful. This one was a doily of its own. It wasn't in a set or anything like that. I mean, it wasn't in a long run or anything like that. It was just a square that had been crocheted, which you can totally do. And I just love how these have turned out. And thank you to the original creator of the Granny Square Christmas tree. This is going to look beautiful hung up in our cabin as well. And I hope you've enjoyed looking at that, and it's given you some inspiration as well how to use those doilies, because it is getting harder and harder to find the embroidered doilies. There's still a lot of these crochet doilies out there to find. And for a while now I've been thinking, now how can I use these crochet doilies, because they're just beautiful, and everyone usually can get access to these crocheted ones. They're a bit of a dime a dozen still in the op shops. So and remember, when you find anything crocheted, it is all done by hand. Isn't this gorgeous fine work? It's all done by hand. So somebody originally sat there and just crocheted every little loop of these, which I just love. All right, if you're new here, I'd love it if you subscribe and share and like and leave me a comment below. And if you like what you see here, this is sort of where I like to go on this channel, is to reuse things and come up with different ideas of that. It's not always what I do, but I love to have a go at that sort of thing. And because I love op shopping, and I love to use the things that I've got from the op shop, and I've got a lot of stuff now from the op shop that needs using. Right, you could also add some of the gimp braids, the rick-rack, the vintage rick-racks, whatever on these things. They would look absolutely gorgeous. I've also got things like this from the Opshop, bits of string, bits of fibers, laces. A lace one would look absolutely stunning. Just go to town with it. All right, so I've got another idea as well, so stay tuned for that video, and I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.